now let's head to Algiers, Algeria, for the Intra-Africa Trade Fair that continues. Arise News, of course, has been covering all the events going on. Let's speak to Arise business correspondent Boason Omofaye, who, of course, is on the ground there in Algiers. Boason, good morning to you. Thank you so much again for joining us. Good to see you. We've been playing all your interviews, seeing all the great work you and the team have been doing. Can you bring us up to speed on the meeting so far?
Well, the update, Rotus, good morning, everyone, is the fact that we're gradually winding down the second to the final day. The closing press conference is expected tomorrow. We're expected to hear from the new president of Afreximbank. Tomorrow is going to be a briefing. Then, of course, we'll have the closing plenary and all of that. But over the last few days, what have we done so far? We've been able to see the need why Africa needs more integrated approach to infrastructure on the African continent in terms of financing that we need. We need to collaborate more than we've ever done before. There's a need for closer cultural, entertainment, fashion, whatever collaboration than ever before. We need to find the funding within the African continent. The continent needs to come together to position itself for the global picture. Today, we've heard from the Africa-US session on why it's important for Africa to have a common front for the trade tariff onslaught from President Trump and the United States. Africa looking for new friends around the world, whether it's from Brazil or from China, India, and Russia and other global economic powerhouses. All of these are part of the conversation has been. But if you take it down a little bit towards the medium and lower level for SMEs, small and medium enterprises, why we need to support investment for women, how to catalyze further investments in water, medicine, pharmaceuticals, and then all the way down to youth entrepreneurship. But if you take it all the way back up, Rotus, in terms of why these resources, natural resources, beneficiation is needed on the continent. And that's why some of my conversation and interviews have been focused on in terms of using these resources to make the best for the continent. For example, gold is trading at an all-time high as we speak. Zimbabwe is binging on this high price of the bullion, as it were. How much more of refined gold can we do on the African continent? How much of Botswana, fine-tuning can Botswana do? How much of refining can Nigeria do in terms of its oil and hydrocarbon? About an hour or less ago, I had an interview with the group Managing Director of Solowant Group, which is doing major pipeline coating business in oil and gas. $170 million investment is what they are looking forward to see over the next few years. They've got massive support from some of the Nigerian banks, such as Access Bank, in US dollar terms. So Africa is putting its mouth where its money is and vice versa. Rotus, and this is important conversation. The platform provided by Afreximbank via the Iatf is very critical for Africa to come together to understand what everyone else is doing behind 110 borders across the continent. That's a whole lot, Rotus. So the conversation also move on to why we need to focus on basic things like Wale Tinubu spoke about, the group CEO of Owando, in terms of travel, visa access, and things like that. Back to you.
Fantastic stuff. Arise business correspondent Boason Omofaye. Boason, we look forward to, of course, rounding things off. Thank you so much for all the coverage and all the great conversations that you've had. We'll catch up with you and the team again soon.